The FBI probe into Brett Kavanaugh could wrap up as soon as later today, setting the stage for a potential vote perhaps this week. And our next guest, who is running for the U.S. Senate down in Florida, blasting these senators for a disservice to America, accusing them of creating a circus in our nation's capital. Here with more, Republican Florida governor and Senate candidate Rick Scott joins us from the beautiful city of Naples, Florida. Governor, good morning to you.
Good morning. Get back to Florida. You always like it down here, I think.
I do.
We had a great debate.
I'm coming down this weekend. You had a fiery debate, and Mr. Kavanaugh did come up, and at one point, Senator Nelson said, given his emotional testimony last week, he's not fit to serve on the Supreme Court. You likened what's going on in D.C. to the Jerry Springer show.
It is. You know, last night's debate is a great example of why we need term limits. Senator Nelson didn't have one thing he could say he accomplished. He's been in office since Richard Nixon was president. Had nothing he could say. So let's go back to Judge Kavanaugh. So Senator Nelson has never met with him. Right? He said before he was even nominated, he would be against anybody Trump came up with. Right. It's a circus up there. It's a Jerry Springer show. These guys, Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh, are just pawns in some game up there between the two parties. So he needs to be confirmed. He's got a great track record, and I continue to support him.
Well, when you were talking about how Senator Nelson has been in D.C. too long, he turned around and he said, look, Rick Scott is a liar and he's got a bunch of conflicts of interest, and his strategy is simply to change the subject anytime anything tough comes up.
Well, you can go to floridafacts.org and get all the information. But here's a guy that's been in office for all this time. I put my assets in a blind trust. Right? I made my money in business. He's made his money in politics. Did he put his assets in a blind trust? He's been paid over $4 million, in his job as a politician. You're not supposed to get rich by being a politician in this country. So we talked about the facts. We talked about issues, education, immigration, Cuba. I had a lady on there that after he supported Barack Obama's appeasement policy to Raul Castro, a murderer of American citizens, I said, this lady was attacked by a machete 5 months after Barack Obama appeased Raul Castro, was attacked by a machete. Her left arm was cut off, stuck in the mud so she would die, and Senator Nelson didn't even acknowledge her. He completely ignored her. That was rude.
That's an extraordinary story. One of the other big things of interest to people down in Florida, and you know this, especially as you sit there in Naples, is people are upset about the green algae and the red tide. And you said last night that Senator Nelson was in some measure responsible for that.
He's completely responsible for it. If you look at the green algae, in 1990, he had an ad said he was going to take care of the green algae in the state. This is a federal project. It's the dike at Lake Okeechobee. He has never worked to get one dime to fix that dike. When we get too much water, we get algae in the dike, and it's spread in two rivers, east and west coast. He's never done anything. After President Trump got elected, I went to President Trump. I went to Congress. I've gotten the money now. We will have that dike finished by 2022. But Senator Nelson, 40 years in public service, never got any money to fix the dike.
Well, they've got to do something down there because it is a mess and people are angry about it. Governor, thank you very much.